First of all, I wasn't even going to put up this video. I was going to just kind of keep it on my computer for like a reminder. Sometimes I like to just, there are so many things that I film that I don't even actually put on the internet. But I feel like with today being National Suicide Prevention Day, that it's a real video. It's real life. It's not, it's not always rainbows and sunshine. So I want to preface it with a trigger warning for mental illness, suicide, self-harm, even eating disorders. So it is a trigger warning, but I just want you to know that this is real life and we all go through dark times, but it does get better. I mean, just within 24 hours, I made this video yesterday. I started feeling better yesterday. But I want you to know that it does get better, and that all you need to do is whenever you start feeling down or you start feeling sad or anxiety or anxious, I guess I should say, or whatever, know that there's always somebody somewhere, that you mean the world to, and know that it does get better, and that recognizing, the triggers or recognizing whatever it is a huge step, and I just feel that maybe me being really real might help someone else. Hey guys, it's Candy. This week is National Suicide Prevention Week, and I wasn't going to talk about any of this because, I don't like to talk about, there's just some things I'm still not really comfortable talking about. Even with friends or family, I just broke down and talked to my dad about like some things, and a few days ago, last night actually, I had a conversation with him and was just kind of breaking down everything and like where I am and where my head is and why it's this way and how I felt and a few different things, and it was a very emotional conversation, and I'm going to try not to make this very emotional because I don't really want it to be an emotional video. So throughout going back and I start realizing I had some patterns, like, for example, and I don't really want to talk about this because I am super into body positivity, and loving yourself, and I really do. But like I said, we all have down days, but this makes me feel ashamed almost. That, throughout this couple weeks, I would say like in the middle of last week, I weighed myself, which I haven't done in quite some time. And then like a few days, I would say 4 days after that, I weighed myself again. And I hadn't really been eating because my stomach's been really upset with the anxiety and stuff. And I couldn't really eat being depressed and anxious. And I lost a significant amount of weight in a few days. And immediately my brain went to, well, I don't want to eat. Now I don't want to eat, like, because I want that number. Oh my God, that number was a good number. And I lost 15 pounds in like a week. And I know that sounds like people wouldn't believe that because I wouldn't either, but I saw the numbers, So then in my head, it's so scary and so weird how you go back to this eating disorder mentality, right? Like I didn't even realize until a therapist told me years ago that like what I was doing was starving my body and then detoxing my body after I would eat was literally textbook bulimorexia, right? And I was like, well, girl, I'm a fat girl, but like, no, not eating is anorexia. And then detoxing to get the stuff out of your body is bulimia. No matter how you do it, it doesn't matter. I don't want to go into that, but no matter how you do it, it's bulimia. And I was, I did that years and years ago. I mean, my mom did that and my mom taught me to do that. And I caught myself, not the detox part of it, but I caught myself the last few days not even wanting to eat. And I'm having a problem eating right now just because of because of everything. But, I caught myself weighing myself again this morning to see if after I ate yesterday, like, what the fuck? That's not who I am anymore. But it's crazy how those things creep right back up into just like that in a flash, So like I had so many things happen between self-harm again, and now the eating disorder, like everything's starting to like spiral again. So I was like, bitch, you gotta stop and get this shit back in order, because you've got this. You're a strong girl. You've got this. You know what you've got to do. You've done it. You know what you've got to do. Snap out of it. And I know like that people say don't tell people to snap, but I'm telling myself that. And I think that's self-love for me, because I don't want to spiral and go back down into a dark place again. Like, I don't want to do that. So I feel for me, the best thing was to do is, I think recognizing it is so huge, right? That's with anything, right? So I think recognizing that I was going to start slipping into patterns, I was slipping back into patterns that made me hate myself. And I put a stop to it pretty quick. Statistics show that every 40 seconds someone commits suicide. Like, let that sink in. I know there's a lot of people in the world. I get it. There's a lot of people. But every 40 seconds, a person commits suicide. And that's pretty crazy, right? Can you imagine being so sad and so depressed that you just want to end it? Like, you just want it to just be over. Final chapter over. Years ago, I had suicidal thoughts. I am a self-harmer who is in recovery. I will be in recovery for the rest of my life. And always, just when you think you have it, just when you think you have shit figured out, just when you think everything, like you think you have overcome so much and you feel like, you've went from here to here and you feel so good about all of that. All it takes is one little thing or a series of things to put you right back where you were, which is really fucked up. I hadn't romanced any of that for several years. I have a wonderful life. I really, really do. Like, to be 100% honest, I have a really wonderful, wonderful partner. I have 2 amazing little freaking fur babies that are so cute. And I know people are like, oh, they're just dogs, but they're not just dogs. They are literally like our world. We adore them. I have a beautiful home. I drive a pretty nice car, like all the things that are the American dream or whatever. Like, I have all that under control. I just have depression. I'm bipolar. I have anxiety, severe social anxiety. I have borderline personality disorder. I have other things. We've talked about them in previous videos. I have germophobia. I mean, we've talked about all this stuff a lot, and I don't want to have to go through it over and over and over, because I just don't want to visit it right now. Usually I'm very bubbly and bright or whatever on social media. I get slut shamed a lot on social media, or I get, whatever, fat shamed. It just literally, I want you guys to know that the bullies and the haters don't affect me. Like, when I am depressed or sad, it's literally not because of them. Like, they actually kind of give me chuckles, because, something you guys need to realize is that if I have a mother who mentally crippled me, right? Like, all she did was tell me how fat I was, how ugly I was because I was fat. And she would, when you can overcome your mom going on social media and telling people that, like, she doesn't know how I have a boyfriend or anything, he must have to roll me around in the flour to find a wet spot, all those little fucking jokes that the troll video did kind of last week too. When you have a mom who does that to you, and even publicly, there's nobody else in this world that could hurt you as bad as that did. So you learn to get over that, okay? Like, you learn, once you've been hit so many times, there's nothing else that a bully, any other bully, especially when it's your mother that did it, there's nobody else that could trump that, Rihanna, I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose, that's pretty much how it is, right? So the trolls and the bullies and the harassment and the fat shamers, that really doesn't affect me here or there. All it does is give me inspiration. Funny enough, it gives me inspiration not to lose weight, girl. It gives me inspiration to live my life, and it gives me inspiration to show others that it's okay to do whatever your body is. It's okay. It's your body, yours, and only you can determine your self-worth. You cannot allow a number, a bully, anything like that to determine your self-worth. So, once again, usually you see my Instagram or Facebook or whatever, that's Twitter, that's usually full of positives. And for the last 4 or 5 days, it's pretty much been negative. some of it's been like hopeful, but most of it's been negative. And I try really hard to not put negativity like that out there. But I also need people to understand that it's not always fucking rainbows and cupcakes, you know? Like, it's just not always, you know, you're not always 100% happy. Even the most confident, because, girl, I am very confident. So, even the most confident people have a bad day, or a bad few days, or a bad week, or a few weeks. And, you know, a depressed person can explain why they're depressed. We have 100 reasons why we're depressed. Like, literally, I can name off 15 things right now. But what happens is when you focus on the negative and you're depressed, all you see is negative. So it becomes like a downhill spiral of just negativity, 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 crying, negativity, laying in bed. Like, it was crazy for like the last 4 or 5 days. I've been in a really, really dark place. And I didn't really want to talk about this because, once again, I don't like to talk about negativity, but I felt like this is real. Like, this is real life. This is, you know, everything's not about posting a picture on Instagram with a little saying, like some cheeky, you know, I'm so sick of seeing these fake ass fucking body positive warriors who are just trying to climb up each other to become the next it girl. It's really sickening to me. The community's really depressed me, and I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for it. Probably they won't even fucking watch it, but I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for it, and I debated whether or not to talk about it, but like, really, fuck it. Like, I can't worry about that clique. I can't worry about that crew, whether they accept me or not. I've been like stressed out about that because I'm really trying to make a difference, and you know, it helps me too. I mean, it does help you too when you have a group of girls or guys or both, a community that supports you. But I don't know why they don't support me. I thought different reasons, but I've seen other people they support doing the same kind of thing. So I don't know what it is. I can't worry about it anymore. I can't stress it anymore. But I'm so tired of seeing the fake, like, today was a bad day, but today I'm gonna, like, you know, like, just, or whatever. Like, it's so fakey to me, and I can see the fakies. I mean, maybe it's me being a fucking asshole, I don't know, but I can see the fakies, and it just has made me so fucking, like, on top of everything else. So I literally, triggers, I had to, like, remove those people from my timeline to where I can't see them anymore. I can't have to stop trying to, like, comment and like and be friendly with this group. Like, it's just not even worth it anymore because it's caused, like, this whole fucking chain reaction of negative thoughts for me for the last few weeks. My social media has been kind of negative lately because I need people to understand the reality of how this all really works. I think everyone, no matter what stage you're in, have up and downs. And I really have to give Jess Baker, the Militant Baker, so many props because she's the only person really that I would say is at a higher status in the activism body positive community that I feel can be honest about that. She'll say when she's having a shitty day or a fucked up body image day, like, she'll straight up say it, and I have so much respect for her for that. National Suicide Prevention Week, and I found it very ironic because I was feeling very suicidal over the weekend. I have to be careful who I talk to about it or who I say it to. I mean, I'm not now, so I'm good today. But, you know, you got to be careful who you open up to because the next thing you know, you're institutionalized because you had a rough day or two. So, you know, I got through it. I used the tools that were given to me through therapy and doctors and years ago whenever I was inpatient. I used those tools. I actually pulled out my inpatient book from 8 or 9 or however many years ago and was like reading through it. And even though I'd have spikes of up and downs and like really lows, but then I would like maybe feel like I felt like I would feel, instead of feeling hopeless, I would start feeling hopeful. So I can't pinpoint what it is. I can't blame it on anything except for the fact that I'm fucking depressed, and that when I'm fucking depressed, sometimes it spirals to where it shouldn't be. I want to go back to when I was in recovery for a couple different things, but I want to go back to that real quick. And I remember being at a meeting and someone I had like 40 years clean. Like, I had to go to meetings for my self-harm issue, but there's really no, at the time, I mean, it's been 10 years, I guess, but there was really nowhere for like a self-harm meeting, or there was a codependent meeting, CODA meetings I went to, but this was like an NA or AA, I don't remember right now, but I remember someone had 40 years clean and relapsed. Actually, it was NA because they relapsed on a Vicodin, like 40 years clean. So anything can happen at any time. Whatever triggers us, or maybe it's just our own head, I don't know, but just know that it doesn't make us any less of a person. We are still worthy of being here, of living a wonderful life and doing what makes you happy. I relapsed in my self-harm. I don't like talking about this because I'm afraid it's going to trigger somebody else, and I don't want it to. So proud of myself. That I went so many years. But it happened. You know, people relapse on whatever it is, whatever your drug of choice is. Mine just happens to be a fucking razor blade. Just a couple little scratches, but you know, it still makes you feel like shit. It almost makes you feel worse because that happened. That's why they tell you, like, if you're spiraling, that isn't going to make you feel better. It's going to make you feel worse about yourself, and it does. But I know that it does get better, and I know that that was just a road bump. And I know the shit gets better. I've been in a way worse situation. I've been in so many way worse situations, right? So, you know, I have a really good support team, I guess. Like, one of my big deals is right now, I feel like my friends don't support me. They don't share my videos. They don't give a fuck about what I do as far as my modeling or my YouTube or my activism. Like, you know, they expect me to share all of their different things, but, you know, they don't share my stuff. And if I ask any of them about it, there's always an excuse, or I didn't think about it, or, you know, my friends don't like the same kind of things you do, or whatever it is. But at the end of the day, if you don't think about doing it, I don't want to force you to do it. So and a lot of the stuff is demons in my own head. Like, maybe it has anything to do, you know, it's demons in my own head, and that's part of being bipolar and being depressed and just having mental illness in general. And we can't blame ourselves for it. All we can do is work towards making it better and realizing that we are more than our mental disorders, realizing we are more than what we look like. We are more than what people think of us. We are more than the burdens we carry and the joys that we share. So that's all I have for you today, guys. I just want you to understand that no matter what, we all go through shit. And, you know, I was very reluctant to put this up because I don't want people being like, well, she's supposed to be body positive, but here she is with this and that. And the reason I want to put this up, the main reason I want to put this up today, is to show you this is real. This is real. I can't say for everybody what is and what isn't real for them or their channels or their Instagram feeds or their blogs or whatever it is, but I can tell you that real people go through real shit. Shit is not always like whatever, and the little fake, like, I'm having a bad day, like the little fake pictures with the little captions and shit, like, that's really been getting under my skin, girl. Don't base your value on that shit, because just don't. It's just, no, do you. Like, I don't care who doesn't like you for it. Don't care. Like, don't let any of that affect you, because I just let it affect me, and I've sworn I wouldn't do it. I didn't allow it. I don't know what happened the last couple weeks. I literally feel like a new person within the last 48 hours. Nah, more like 24 hours. I literally have felt like a new person again. Like, I can't explain it. I don't know what happened. I don't really know, but maybe it was a wake-up call, one that I needed. And, you know, maybe this video is just for me. It is mostly just for me. And that's okay. That's all it should be for, right? Bye, guys.